How do we adjust our training in a cut? We know how important progressive overload is to continue to make adaptations, but as we cut calories and cut energy, it's not always possible to just keep adding weight to the bar. We don't have the energy demands to lift heavier. It's harder to do more volume. So what can we do to keep making progress, or do we just have to resign ourselves to maintenance in a cutting phase? First thing to note is that our training should not change very much during a cut. We want to focus on maintaining as much muscle mass as possible. So we want to continue to strength train. And at least in the early stages of our cut, we shouldn't be so energy depleted that we can't continue to progress in weight and reps. So we can still progressively overload the basic way of adding weight to the bar or adding reps to your sets. Provided we're not going into a humongous deficit, we'll still have energy stores on our body to use. Our body is going to burn that fat, but that will provide us energy to hopefully keep progressing in the way that we want to. Two of the main variables that we can still progress in are length and load. So make adjustments to exercises to make sure that you're still getting a full range of motion and getting some tension in that stretch position. I'm using a box here to make sure I can get lower on my squat, increasing that range of motion, maybe even utilizing a pause, slowing down that eccentric tempo. All of these things are things you can do to hopefully keep progressing and not cost yourself too much in recovery, because you don't have to push quite as much weight and you don't have to push the reps quite as high. With these slower tempos will increase that time under tension, increasing the tension on the muscles, really helps still make some progress while we're in a cut. Another way to continue to increase length is to utilize length and partials. So say I normally get 10 reps on this exercise here. So I get to my 8th one, and I'm not sure that I can get any more. What I'm going to do is do length and partials instead. So I'm going to get that full stretch, and then I'm just going to pull back as far as I can, and I'm going to keep doing this until I really can't feel any contraction. I don't have any mind muscle connection. I'm not getting any contraction. I'm just here. So adding those length and partials is another great way to increase that stretch tension, again, with less recovery costs because we're not doing full reps. No matter how we decide to progress our lifts when in a cut, the biggest thing is to make sure that we're always training to failure, no matter what. Again, we want to focus on muscle maintenance. So even if we have to do more of a HIIT style training, that's HIT, where we do maybe 1 or 2 sets to absolute failure, making sure that you're pushing that intensity as hard as you can will ensure that we will at least maintain as much muscle as possible and also help us progressively overload. If we keep the same weight but we keep pushing to failure, we should be able to get more reps over time still. But again, the volume is cut down because the sets are cut down, so we should be able to manage that in a cut. No matter what, focus on making progress in whatever way that you can, and understand that in a cutting phase, the goal at the end of the day is just to maintain as much muscle as possible. We're going to lose some fat, but this is for a set period of time. We're going to get the cut down, and then we'll go back into a maintenance / bulk phase to put on more muscle. So this is just a temporary period of time. Understand that training has to adapt slightly, but it shouldn't change too much. Make sure you still focus on your strength training. Get some cardio in if you need to pull that lever as you get deeper and deeper into a deficit. Don't pull it first. Don't try to just do cardio, because then we're cutting calories and doing cardio, leading to more energy compensation. So if we focus on maintaining our strength training, most importantly to maintain that muscle, that's going to get us to the best place that we want to during our cut. So keep progressively overloading in whatever way you can. Enjoy your cut, understand the process, and get back to that bulk when you're ready.